What's up, guys? Little current event discussion for you. I have to pardon me if I don't give you my undivided attention, but I'm trying to accomplish two things at one time here. Need to get some limbs disposed of, and this is the easiest way for me to do it right now. I figured I could talk to you guys and do this at the same time, so bear with me. All right, so current events. What are we looking at right now? Well, there is a lot going on the world stage, in case you haven't noticed. We've got some serious trade issues going on with a number of countries, but probably primarily and most prominently, that would be China. And it's kind of a mixed bag of things with it. On one hand, we do need to do something to straighten out our trade issues with other countries, especially China, because previous administrations have gotten us into some really crappy deals that are really bad for America in general. So we need to get that straightened out. However, the problem comes that in order to straighten that stuff out, it might get pretty unpleasant for a while before it gets straightened out. Another problem with trade wars, they have a nasty history of turning into shooting wars, which presents a whole nother set of problems. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on. While it's not a great indicator, keep your eyes on the stock market a bit. That can sometimes give you little indicators of where things are going based on how people are thinking and feeling and that sort of thing. I mean, it could just go a dozen different ways there when we're talking about the trade issues, economic issues, that sort of thing. It's all intertied together. And make no mistake, guys, flag-waving, red-blooded, go America, American, but China's not a patsy, okay? They're really smart, and they are fairly powerful, both militarily and economically. It is not something to take lightly. Still obviously concerns internationally and nationally with different terror-related issues. I don't think that'll go away anytime soon. We've got some interesting issues with North Korea. Now, I had gotten some pretty interesting information here a few months ago, and some things have kind of ebbed and flowed and changed in regards to the North Korean situation. That's gotten really hard for me and some of my friends to try to figure out. So you've got Kim Jong-un, meeting with China's president. Now he's wanting to meet with President Trump. No telling where all that could go. Again, just put it over here on your list of things to kind of keep an eye on and keep an open mind to. Probably one of the biggest issues right now, most pressing, is obviously here domestically, where we've got this awesome new push for new gun control legislation, where people are finally coming out and being honest about what they want, which is kind of curious because they're straight up saying now the Constitution doesn't matter, repeal the Second Amendment, we want all guns banned, etc. Now, they've been saying for years, oh, we don't want to take your guns, we just want reasonable, common sense, laws and blah, blah, blah. I've said in the past to people, anytime you hear anybody in the government or anybody in general use the words common sense and reasonable in relation to gun control, they are lying to you. They are absolute snakes in the grass. So keep that in mind when you hear those phrases. Well, now, thanks to recent school shooting we've talked about before, there's this big push. What's happening is, I think they see that they can't get stuff pushed through like they want at the national level yet. So in turn, what they're doing, they're going after things at the local and state level, and they're doing it hard. You've already had one city or county, I think, in Illinois that has straight up banned assault weapons and standard capacity magazines, so they call them high capacity. They told people they got to turn them in. I'm sorry, if there was ever a more open reason to pull on April 19th, that's it. Sorry, ain't gonna happen. But that's what they've done in this particular community. They are pushing really hard at the state level in different states. We even had some stuff here in Florida recently that got through some, well, I'm not going to get into all that. Let's just say it wasn't all kosher the way a lot of it went down, but it did. You've got a number of other states doing that. You just had a federal court, I think in Massachusetts. I could be wrong on that, don't hold me to that. Anyway, there's a federal court somewhere that ruled that AR-15s aren't protected under the Second Amendment, and similar guns aren't protected under the Second Amendment. No, sorry, those are the exact guns that are protected under the Second Amendment. If you wanted to make an argument for a gun not protected under the Second Amendment, your duck gun, your goose gun, your deer rifle, those are not what the Second Amendment was protecting. Okay? Fighting weapons is what the Second Amendment was protecting. Just saying. I don't want to see any of them go. I'm an equal opportunity Second Amendment supporter. But keep an eye on that, guys. I truly, personally believe there are people and entities that are trying to push things, and they want to push things to the level of a civil war. I think they actually believe that if they do that and can get the government and police to start going around and taking people's guns and killing those that don't want to comply, I truly, they think they can affect change that way, and that's what they want to see happen and want to do. Now, you and I both know that it probably wouldn't go that way and would be a very ugly affair, but that's what they believe and that's what they're pushing for. So whether we think it's right, wrong, probable, not probable, possible, not possible, they do. And unfortunately, they've got to say so in this just as much as we do. So keep that in mind. Keep your eye on the news. Don't believe everything you see and hear in the mainstream news. I shouldn't have to tell you that. We shouldn't even have to think along those lines, but unfortunately we do. Because half the time, 50% of what you hear, and probably a third of what you actually see isn't accurate. It's not correct. It's fabricated, misleading, or outright lying on one level or another, which is sad to say that we're at that point, but we are. So I'm not going to bore you on just a little quick, current events update and thought. Keep your eye on all this stuff. Get as active as you can, especially at your local level and your state level. I really think that's where some of the big political battles are going to be fought right now when it comes to not only Second Amendment, but First Amendment and everything else, because whether the other side wants to admit it or not, as soon as the Second Amendment falls, the First, Third, Fourth, Fifth, etc., are going to be like dominoes right behind them, especially the First. The First will be the second one to go after the second one goes first. Think about that. Anyway, stay safe, stay aware, and I'm going to get back to getting rid of some more limbs. We'll see you guys later.